What's up, everybody? So like the title says, I have been cleaning house lately. I've sold a lot of the projects I've had, and it's kind of bittersweet. Actually, it really sucks to let go of so many things that I've been working on, but I have a reason. And in this video, I'm going to go through why I decided that I needed to let some things go and what the future is going to hold. So, a little backstory. Before I even started making videos on any of these, I've bought and sold a lot of cars, a lot of classic cars over the years, and my main goal has always been to find ones that aren't running or have been completely forgotten about or are neglected or in some stage of disrepair, and get them back on the road. And so I find these cars, I bring them home, I get them running, I get them cleaned up, I get them as good as I can, but with a budget in mind. And then I send them down the road. I don't make a lot of money on them. I do it strictly because I love classic cars. I just do. And I would rather see them go on to somebody else who's going to enjoy them. And I've seen quite a few of them popping back up on Marketplace, bought and sold a few times, a couple of them a few times since I've owned them. And that's a pretty good feeling to know that those cars are still out there. And they were doomed to sit in somebody's barn until they rotted away or to get scrapped or whatever. It's what the whole purpose of everything I do is. So I had amassed quite a few cars or trucks, I should say, trucks, because they're all trucks, that I had gotten pretty attached to. And I was like, these are going to all be projects. They're not going to be, barn finds that I get back on the road and sell. They're going to be projects that I build. So a couple weeks ago, I had a flood of thoughts and emotions come over me and go, there's not enough me for all these projects. I mean, I build hot rods for a living all day long. I get to build people's dream cars, and it's great. I love it. But there's not enough me to finish all of my projects here at home. And, the things are very, very expensive. These builds are not cheap, and I'm not a millionaire YouTuber. So I can't have, 5 projects going at once and expect to get any of them done. So when you're building multiple vehicles, you put a little bit of money towards one and you work on it for a little bit, and then I get super distracted and I'd go, oh, I want to work on another one. So I move on to the next and put a little time and money into it, and then I move on to the next. And then I keep making the cycle back around. The problem with that is nothing is ever getting done. I still have stuff on my 55 I need to do so that thing can be completely finished. But, with the C50 and the C30 and the van, which is now out of storage back at home, there just wasn't enough time and money to dedicate to all of them at once. I would rather focus on one at a time. So a couple weeks ago, I put all of my trucks up for sale, and I said, whatever sells, and whatever doesn't can stay. Well, they all sold. I sold 3 trucks in a week, and I have a few other things for sale that are probably going to be gone, eventually. But the ones I want to focus on for now are already here. So I had a couple guys come while I was working on my buddy's truck doing the exhaust on that F100, and young kid came and bought my C50. There she goes, off to her new owner. Later, buddy. And then the very next day, a guy and his buddy showed up to look at my C30, and they build a lot of hot rods, and they were super interested, and they ended up buying it. Man, it sucks to see that one leave. Good dude though. He'll build it right. And I know those guys are going to do it right. They're going to finish that truck off how it needs to be. And that kid that bought the C50, he has big plans to turn it into like a welding rig or something like that, which is awesome. I'm very happy that they are going to people who I feel are going to use them. I also sold a 72 parts truck that I had that I may not have ever done anything with other than steal some parts off it here and there, but still, it went to somebody who was going to use it for parts for their own project that they had to finish. So, moving forward, there will be more barn find, I don't want to say maybe revivals, more barn finds to come to me that I can get back on the road. But there are projects that I really, really, really want to get done now so that I can move on to those and not have to worry about these, which are my van and my 55. So I have interior I need to finish on the 55, and not really, that's about it. I need interior, and then I need to put a new windshield, which I have in. I've had a windshield for 2 years sitting here, and I have not had time to do that. I also have a full carpet kit for it, or a vinyl floor kit, new seats. I want to build a center console for it, and blah, blah, blah. The van, I kind of want to go a little bit farther with. So last year, I bought a 2010 Silverado that had a rusted frame, specifically for the swap. After we finished the red square body for LS Fest, I said, there are no classic vans here. And I said, I want to show up next year with one done, because I think it would be a big hit. Like I said, there were none. There was one van there, and it was a guy that did detailing. It was his express van, which was pretty cool, but that was the only van there. So the next step for the van is going to be getting a built LS swap. It's a 5.3, 243 heads. I'm going to put a cam in it, and it's going to be Holley management. It's going to be a nice, sanitary, fun build, and I want to start on it very, very, very soon. And with no other distractions, getting pulled in and out of the shop, I feel like it's going to be a really quick project. And then I can get back to my original goal for what I do, and then started videoing which was finding and getting forgotten cars back on the road. I know there's a lot of channels on YouTube that do that, and I did it for years without videoing it, and it's a lot of fun doing this. It's very fulfilling. So in the future, there will be more revival builds, but there will also be more projects. I have a few in mind. I've been looking for very, very specific vehicles, and hopefully I can find them when the time comes. So the whole point of this video was kind of just to clear the air, because I've had quite a few people talk to me, call me, message me, why are you giving up on these vehicles? And that's how they look at it, is I'm giving up on something that I pulled out of a barn and put all this work and money and time into just to sell them and let somebody else finish them. And that's okay with me. It's okay that somebody else is going to finish these things off the way that they want to finish them. It's hard, like I said, when you've got, it's like automotive ADD. You can't quite pinpoint what you want to do on any job, and then really no progress gets made on any of them. So yeah, it's just a clean slate for me and my shop, and you know, I'm gonna have customer cars coming in, and hopefully more stuff, you know, for I can build for my buddies, and they can come help me, and you know, just to kind of keep the community tight, which is what it's all about. So there'll be way more videos to come, I promise you that, and I'm gonna try to be much more consistent on my posting, and try to be as informative and as entertaining as possible. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.